Hey there, I'm Kevin Downey, and I run an agency called Kevin M. Downey where we help B2B companies with their sales and marketing efforts. You can visit our website at kevinmdowney.com. Okay, today's topic, why do employers want experience when they're hiring for sales? So this is one of those kind of edgy things because it's a little bit of a criticism of employers, of hiring managers, of HR, of internal recruiters. I mean, they are doing what they're told, right? Especially in the latter roles. But at the end of the day, why do employers want experience? The reason they want experience is because it makes them comfortable with the fact or the idea that the person is going to be successful. In other words, they think that experience by itself is evidence that that person is going to be successful. And the reality is, we know statistically speaking that both resume is one of the weakest predictors of performance, of job performance, and experience is right there with it. Now, there's a caveat to that, because if you can prove experience, so if you can have if you can really prove experience and that they've done business development, they're willing to do business development, that they have built a territory and they're willing to build a territory again, it's not going off just their resume. If you can prove it, now there's a little bit of, I give a little bit of credence to the experience there. But otherwise, if you're just going off their resume and what they tell you, sorry, it doesn't mean a hill of beans to me. I mean, at the end of the day, the assessment's the qualifier for sales and business development roles, especially in business-to-business companies. So employers want experience because it gives them comfort that the person is going to be successful. Unfortunately, it just doesn't pan out that way. Resumes are not accurate. One can say that very high percentage, depending on who you believe, are untrue, partially or very untrue. Unfortunately, that's just the reality of it. And so I always look at employers and say, okay, if this person and if this candidate has all of these accolades in this industry or in these industries, and they've got all of these sales numbers, why are they applying to a job on your, if you're running a job ad, why are they applying to it? In other words, if they're really that accomplished and they're that known, that successful in a business, in an industry, they don't need to apply to a job. Really, really successful reps already have contacts in the industry. They can go from their employer to a competitor without batting an eye. They don't need to be applying to jobs on Indeed or on LinkedIn, right? So you have to take that experience and all of that, all those numbers that they throw on there with a grain of salt. Because the reality is top reps, they don't need to go hunting for jobs on job boards. They just don't. They can go find employment at their employer's competitors if they get fired, unfortunately, or let go, or they want to move on. They can go find employment at their competitors very easily. They're going to get recruited by their competitors, by those employers' competitors, pretty frequently if they're really successful. And so it, like, at the end of the day, and not to mention they could start their own business within the industry as well if they're really, really successful and driven. So it's just not something where you can take all of that experience and really put all that much weight on it. I mean, it doesn't mean that much. For us as recruiters, certainly it doesn't mean much. At the end, we look at assessment. They got to line up on the dots. The assessment is everything, right? That's the qualifier. Resume is a disqualifier. It's not a qualifier. It's a disqualifier. So, but if you need any help with recruiting, reach out to us, kevinmdowney.com. Appreciate you being here today. Thanks so much for taking the time, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.